Hello, hello, and welcome to Let Them Talk. And today I've got some phrasal verbs for you with the verb to be. Now, I've chosen these particular phrasal verbs firstly because they are very common, used all the time by native speakers, and secondly, if you don't know them, they can cause confusion. Phrasal verbs can often be confusing, but this is especially true of those with the verbs to be. So do learn them, and today I'm in London, so I thought I'd record this lesson outside in the streets of the capital. Let's go. So the first phrasal verb is to be up to. Yes, that's right, to be up to. And all it means is to be doing, and you often use this to ask somebody their activity at a particular moment. So I could say, what are you up to this afternoon? What are you up to tonight? Okay, and you could say, well, I'm not up to much, or you're doing something. And by the way, right now I'm in Buckingham Street, and this house here is where Samuel Pepys used to live. And Samuel Pepys was a diarist in London in the 17th century, a politician and a diarist. He's very famous for his diary, and there is a story about that. There was a great fire of London in 1666. All Londoners know that date. Much of London was destroyed. Samuel Pepys was living in London at that time, and the fire was coming towards his home, so he wanted to save his valuable items. And what were they? Well, he dug a hole in his garden and buried his Parmesan cheese in his wine. Yes, that's right. His Parmesan cheese and his wine. So if I was, it's a tenuous connection, but if I was there at the time in Samuel Pepys' garden, I would say to you, hey Sammy, what are you up to with that shovel and the cheese? Oh, you're burying it. Okay, fair enough. To be out. That's right, to be out. Now this one has many different meanings. I could just say I'm not in the house, I'm out. But the one I'm looking at now means that to talk about films and plays and magazines, to say that they are currently available, okay, or showing in the case of films and plays. Okay, so which films are out at the moment? Okay, I'm currently in Leicester Square, the heart of London's cinema district, and let's have a look, see what films are out right now. So Incredibles 2 is out now. Could it be more incredible than Incredibles 1? Mamma Mia, that's another sequel. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, or should it be Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again? Okay, so the next phrasal verb is to be up for something, and it just means want to do something, an activity or something like that, and it's often used in suggestions in a question, and it's to be up for plus a noun or a verb plus a noun. Let me give you an example. Hey, you up for a beer this afternoon? You up for a beer? You up for some Chinese food tonight? So you're up for seeing some jazz. And by the way, here you are. Let me show you something. I'm outside a pub called the French House, and this pub is famous because it was home of the French resistance during the Second World War. Okay, and I think Charles de Gaulle was there, and also it's the only pub in London where they don't sell pints, only half pints, because that's the French way, okay, for beer I'm talking about. and you'll find it in Soho, on Dean Street. There's a baby crying. So the next phrasal verb is to be into something. Yes, that's right, to be into something. And all it means is to be interested in something. So let me give you an example. I'm really into jazz at the moment. I go to jazz clubs 3 nights a week. I'm really into art. I often visit art galleries. And what else? Yeah, I'm really into cooking. I like cooking English food. Okay, so there you are, to be into something. So, the next phrasal verb is to be off. Yes, that's right, to be off, to be off. And of course this one has different meanings. I can be off meaning I'm going, I'm off, goodbye, see you later. I'm off to Tower Hill, see you later. There's another meaning too, and it can mean to be rotten or to be bad when you're talking about food that can become smelly. So for example, the fish is off, the eggs, they stink, they're off, the milk, I can't drink this, the milk is off, the milk is off. So to be off. What is it? It's very smelly. Is it off? Oh no, it's a durian. So, the next phrasal verb is to be up to someone. Yes, that's right, to be up to someone. We've already looked at to be up to meaning to be doing. What are you up to? What are you doing? But this is a little bit different. To be up to someone talks about the person who is responsible for an action. Let me give you an example. Should we go to the National Gallery or the British Museum? What do you think? Well, I don't mind. It's up to you. It's up to you, which means you can decide. You can make the decision. Okay. So another example. What should we eat tonight? Well, if it was up to me, I'd choose Japanese, but you can decide. Okay. Would you like to go to the theatre or the cinema? Well, it's up to you. I really don't mind. It's up to you. You can decide. Next we have to be around. To be around. And all this means is to be nearby, to be available. So, for example, I'm around for the next hour if you want to call me. Hey, are you around tomorrow? Because I'd like to meet you. If I'm not around, you can always speak to Jim. Yes, you can speak to Jim. Well, that's it. I hope you found those phrasal verbs useful. And once again, thank you for watching. And stay mellow. Goodbye from London and see you in the next video.